In this video, I'll be showing you how to use some of the basic features of FetchMap. We'll be looking at how to get the maps, how to create and use caches, and something about how overlays work. We'll also look at some of the new features of FetchMap, like how to take notes, how to use location services, and the GPS and the compass. First, how do you control the maps? Then we'll look at something about layers and updating maps. You can pan the maps just by using your fingers, or you can pinch in or pinch out to zoom in and out. You can select a new map. Maps come in two layers, the bottom layer and the top layer. Here I've selected the satellites, or you can open up the categories of the general. Look through there for, well, I'm going to look at some background maps, some historic maps. There's all sorts of things. The top three listed are always the most recently used. Here we're looking at some historic maps. Old Boston. Now we're going to put a layer on top of that. So we're going to use OpenStreetMaps as our other layer. And now you see that slide bar in the upper left? You can slide back and forth between the two map layers. This is really interesting to see how things have evolved over time. I'm going to switch to none on the top layer. Another thing I want to look at is what can we do to update maps. You see the update feature there? Just hit that button and it went off to our website to see if there are any new maps listed. One of the most unique features of FetchMap is that you can cache maps in your device and take them off trail, offline, wherever you are. Here we're looking at a hike in the Adirondacks. I've circled a region. FetchMap went out to the map server, found out what tiles were available. I'm going to pick a high resolution cache, one that's appropriate for hiking, name it at the high peaks, and then get the cache. Now I can take that and overlay it on top of other maps, or I can use it offline. Here I'm just overlaying it as a top layer on top of a street map. You can see that I can pan back and forth between them. I can also zoom in. Remember, this green layer here is on my device. I'm not getting it across the network anymore. I can take this on trail. I can go hiking with it if I want. Here I'm looking at what maps are in memory. I've got the high peaks, and it'll tell me where they are. Or I can look and see what was that other cache I had. Oh, Mount Washington from another hike. And that's the area that is cached from that one. FetchMap could also have overlayers, geotiffs, KMLs, things like that. Here I've got a map that was emailed to me, and I can open it from my mailer. I'm gonna, let's see, tap it, and now in my mailer I can open it, and you see FetchMap is an option. This is a geotiff. It means it's got some information about orientation built into the map itself. And I can treat it just like another layer. This time we've got a KML file, usually seen on Google Earth. Once you open up some items, you can go and tap on one of them. Look at the Hanging Garden of Babylon. And you can expand that if you want to. Then shrink it or done. Some photographs have geotags on the inside. This one of the mountains of the Alps does. So FetchMap can plot it and point to where that photograph was taken. Here's a GPX file that FetchMap can read in and plot up on top of going up Mount Washington. Another unique feature of FetchMap is the ability to take notes on trail. Here we're going to go in and we're going to modify one of these KML points. Gali Hut, we'll make a little note about it. But you can add points, you can edit them, You can move them around, and you can mail them to other people or message them if you like. FetchMap also uses Apple's location service. You can type in an address and it'll tell you where that's located, and then if you want, hit the plot button and there you go. The other way is that you can take those crosshairs and line them up on something. Here, we'll look around a bit, find a spot, hit the center button, and it tells us that we're over the mall, or maybe we're over Snow Hill. You can then email or text those addresses to somebody so they can look at them too. You're not always stuck in the city. So let's turn on our GPS and find ourselves someplace more interesting. You need to track it too if you want it to be in the center of the map. There we are. We're on a mountaintop right now. Okay, now let's set up the map the way we like it, English units, metric units, or both. And, well, wouldn't a compass be nice? Yeah, here's a compass. Oh, there's a large chunk of metal right next to me, or might be the clasp of my case. In any case, let me move my device a little bit away. Yeah, that's much better. We can also do this crazy thing called a heads-up display, where the map will rotate so it's always, north. That's the way it should be. Well, I'm off. I'm going to go hiking now. See you guys later.